Saturday, October the 18th. I am Bruce Leonard. This is Bruce Leonard Leans Left. While it's still legal. Still legal today. I just returned from the No King protest in Cincinnati. Guy gave me this button. If you're there still, well, I was going into the 5 Eastern, so if you're west of us, it's probably still going on. It was encouraging. I do want to say something. There was something funny that just happened. This girl that I followed posted an Instagram story, and her Instagram story was like, I'm at the Hard Rock for Dane Cook. And then it was like, oh, here's the guy next to me. And then she's getting a drink. And then it was like, when you leave early because the show sucked. It's like, yes, Dane Cook sucks. It's like, you had to spend $75 or $100 or whatever to figure that out. Yeah, guy sucks. He was never really any good to begin with. It's like, I never understood the Dane Cook phenomenon. It's like, I'm sure every other comedian's like, well, we're done better than you. Like, yeah, he has. He has. But do you remember him? No, not really. Did he do anything memorable? It will influence comics of the future. It's like, no, I don't believe so. It's like, anyway, I went to the No Kings protest. A guy gave me this button. And they had these buttons. I said, oh, where'd you get the button? He said, oh, he made them himself. And then he just pulled some out of a bag and gave them to me. Very nice. As I said, it's very nice when you go to these protests, you realize, like I said, that there are still good people in the world, that the world's not all shit. What's up? It might feel like it's all shit, but then when you go, what's going on? Hey, what is that 67? Please explain that to an old man. I've been seeing that all over the place. 67. Everybody's saying it. It's all over the TikTok and all that, but I still don't really know what it's all about. You're at her. That's how old you think I am. But I am not 67. Anyway, and it feels like the world is dark and everything is bad and, there's evil all around you. And then you go to a place like that and you realize there are still good people in this world, millions of them. 7 million people came out all over the country. So it's not just all dark. And, there's always hope if you look for it. Like I said, the internet has splintered people up into these groups and made all kinds of like hermity people that don't leave their fucking house even. All their interaction with people is online, and like that's not real human interaction, man. Like, so I said people are more lonely than they've ever been. And you would think that they weren't. You would think that social media and everything would make people feel closer together, but it hasn't. It's driven people farther apart than they've ever been. And like I said, you watch the news and you look outside, if you're in one of these cities where ICE is running around fucking gaffling up people, shooting pepper gas at fucking priests, it can feel dark, but then you see, like in Chicago today, there's 1 million people out there. New York City, Times Square was filled with people. There's still good people out there. We have to remember that. It's easy to get swallowed up into all this, And I don't know if you saw this. I remember last episode I was telling you about how they shot another boat, but this time they didn't kill everybody. There were survivors. Well, turns out they're not going to even try these people. They're going to expatriate them back to their countries. Now, why do you believe that is? If these are gangster criminals, right? Tren de Araguas or whatever they keep trying to say, drug cartel members, why wouldn't they prosecute them in court? Why would they just send them back? I'll tell you why. Because they can't go to court, because that's not who these people are. And if they go to court, their whole house of cards will come falling down on them. And then you'll realize that it's just murder. They're just killing people. So you know 67. What is, no one's told me what the 67 is. I said, I'm old. You guys explain it to me. I don't know what the significance of it is. All I know is it's a trend now. I don't follow these trends because they're trendy. Next week there'll be something else. So what's the fucking point? It's a waste of time. For me, not for you younger people. That's it. I can see. It's just like anything else, Like how the slangs change as generations. We don't say the same things. If you talk to a young kid now, you don't even know what they're saying. I mean, I do. You can figure it out, I have enough experience in slang that I can pretty much translate what they're trying to say, even if I've never really heard it before, but by context of sentence, etc., etc. But the 67 thing, I don't know. I just seen it on my mom watches the news and shit all the time, and you see that on the extra or fucking. Entertainment Tonight, bullshit like that. She loves that kind of shit. So. That's why I don't want to live to be into an advanced age where all you're doing is laying on the couch and your mind goes away and you believe that this garbage is actually entertaining. Like the girl, like I said, I was just saying at the beginning of the show, who spent $125 to realize that Dane Cook sucks. Yes, Dane Cook sucks. Dane Cook's always sucked. He's never been very good. It's like, he's not really a stand-up comedian. He's more like a wacky one-man show that's not really very funny if you get past all of his gesticulations and hopping around and running around. And, he's a good storyteller, I guess. Like, oh, you're the guy with the car, or whatever. But he's not telling jokes, like stand-up. He's not like George Carlin, He's not like critiquing the fucking state of society today. It's Dane Cook. What did you expect? The fact that you waste your money to go to Dane Cook's show and didn't realize you suck. It's like the people I know that like Theo Von, same thing. They watch his podcast. They go, "Oh, Theo Von's funny." And then they bought a ticket, went to his stand-up show, and then I talked to him after that. They go, "Yeah, he wasn't very good." It's like, just because he's not a comedian. He's just a guy from Road Rules. He got famous for being on TV, and then he had a podcast. That's fine. And then now all these guys just think, "Oh, what am I going to do? Well, I do stand-up." It's like, yeah, but you're not a stand-up, I remember when I first heard of Theo Von, I didn't even know who he was. And he put out a Netflix special. And I was like, oh, I never heard of this guy, I looked into him a little bit. He's like, oh, he's on Road Rules, he has a podcast now, and whatever. And now he's at Netflix special. So I turned it on with the open mind. I was like, oh, well, let's check this guy out. Let's see what he is. I watched it for 10 minutes. I didn't laugh one time. I was like, well, this is very good, isn't it? So stick to podcasting. I feel the same way about Rogan most of the time. I mean, Rogan has a few bits that are funny, but most of the time it's like, dude, just do your podcast. It's like, there's no need to pretend like you're a brilliant stand-up comic, He was famous really for stand-up comedy anyway. He was a comedic actor in TV shows. And then he was a host of Fear Factor. And of course he could sell tickets to, they go, oh, it's Joe Rogan, he's doing stand-up. They're like, well, you listen to the stand-up. It's like, it's not that good. Much rather listen to David Tell or somebody who's not nearly as famous, but is much better at stand-up. That's how I felt about Donald Glover. First of all, I want to say I'm a huge Donald Glover fan. Donald Glover is a very talented dude. He's a fucking great actor. He's obviously a great writer. He created Atlanta. And, he's a really good music. Childish Gambino is really good. Fucking really good. And then he had a Comedy Central special where he was doing stand-up. I watched it and I was like, man, thank God this guy isn't great at everything. Because he wasn't very good at doing stand-up. great at everything else. Like I said, it's like stand up has become like a thing that people do. Like porn stars are doing it now. You know, it's like, oh, she's a porn star. I think Sylvia Sage does comedy. You know, she's a big porn star. You know, like, oh, here's Sylvia Sage do stand up comedy. It's like, yeah, of course she can sell tickets. She's a big famous porn star. But you watch it, you listen to it. It's like, she's not very good at doing stand up. You know, Steve O was doing that too. You know, Steve O from Jackass. He's like, oh, he's a stand up now. He's like, not really. You know, to get good at doing stand up comedy takes a long time. A lot of dedication to the art of stand-up comedy. You don't just do it like wrestlers were doing it too, like retired wrestlers. You know, me and Tom Garland, my friend, who's a very funny comedian. He lives in Iowa now, but I met him in Vegas. But if you never heard of Tom Garland, look him up. He's really, really funny comedian. Maybe I'll ask him if he wants to come on this show someday. But anyway, very funny guy. But he was also like managing, what was his name? Rob Van Dam, you know, as a comedian. Like, he's a retired wrestler. But it's like, dude, he's not a stand-up comic. But see, Tom's a businessman, you know. So he's like, yeah, but he can sell tickets, you know. And like, yeah, he can sell tickets, but it's like you're also disrespecting the art that you're very good at. It's like stand-up's not respected as an art form anymore. It's something people can do. They're famous to get like YouTubers or whatever. You know, they got a big YouTube following and do stand-up. You know, it's like, yeah, but you go see them and they're not any good. It's like the country has just become like that. And they'll be like, oh, this guy came in second place on The Voice, you know, or whatever. It's like, yeah, but he's not I'd like to see a show like The Voice where they wrote their own music. All these people are like glorified karaoke singers. They're not really artists. And they go, oh, they're the artists. It's like, you're not an artist, bro. Unless you write your own songs. That's why, like, Bruce Springsteen could never win The Voice because he can't sing that great, right? But he writes fucking songs, so he's an artist. Bob Dylan, same way. You know, he's Bob Dylan going on American Idol or The Voice. Could you imagine that? He's not a good singer. What do you want me to say? What, Boomhauer? You want me to giggity for you? Giggity, giggity. Say, yeah, I'll do it. I'm a comedian. I'm a trained monkey. And also, that's the point of the live chat. So we can interact while the show is going on. And I tell you the truth, I've been getting a lot more interaction lately than I don't know what's going on. I guess that's it. I guess I cracked the I've been doing this show, like I said, in the dark to 5 people for months and months, you know, the beginning of the year probably. So let's see, I think I started this show beginning of March, maybe, end of February. I never wanted to do a podcast because everyone had a podcast. You know, it's the thing. There's 10 million fucking podcasts. So I was always doing stand up and just like, I'm just concentrating on doing stand up. I'm not going to do a fucking podcast because everybody has a podcast. It's cliche, you know. But then all this shit happened and I couldn't travel and tour and do comedy. And I only was sitting around for a couple months and I was like, if I don't do something, I'm going to go insane. Like, because if you're a creative person, you have to create things. If you don't create things, you start getting squirrely. And so I was like, well, fuck it, I'll do a podcast. And here we are. And like I said, I've been doing it in the dark to 5 people since then. And this in the last month or two, the algorithm cracked, I guess, and all these new people like yourselves have come on. I'd like to wonder, like where you came from. How did you find out about this show? I think that's it. I think I cracked the YouTube algorithm now, finally, and they're recommending the show. That's all I can think of because the last 4 or 5 episodes, I haven't even really cut them into shorts and promoted the shows, and they got. Let's say I went from 5 viewers to 100, or over 100, in just a few weeks. So something happened. I don't know what happened. And I also have been cutting every episode into shorts and putting it out. So trying to advertise this show. But then I got busy doing a bunch of other shit, so I couldn't do it. But anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about the murdering that's going on in the Caribbean. I don't know. Again, I can't say with certainty what Trump's thing is with Venezuela. But I will say, and I've said before, I would be willing to put money, bet someone, you want to bet one of you people, that if you dig hard enough, you will find somewhere down the line that Donald Trump feels like he got slighted by Venezuela somehow, like he wanted to build a Trump Tower there, or build a golf resort or something, and somebody wouldn't let him do it, and now he's got a grudge on for Venezuela because that's the kind of person he is. It's a petty fucking grudge holder. And anyway, like I said, if these people that they claim they're blowing up, I shouldn't say they claim, these people that they're blowing up in the Caribbean Ocean, in international waters, off the coast of Venezuela, which they claim are vicious cartel members of Tren de Aragua, or whatever the fucking name of it is, and that they're drug smugglers, and that's why they're blowing them up right off the coast of Venezuela. But this time, some survived, and they scooped them up. And instead of prosecuting these people for drug trafficking or whatever, attempted murder, whatever else charges you want to throw on the wall, right? They've decided to expatriate these people back to their countries, all quiet and hush-hush. Now, why do you think that is? Like I said, because they don't want to go to court. That's it. Every time they go to court, almost every time that the Trump administration has gone to court, the judges go, "You're full of shit." It's like none of this holds up in court because it's not real evidence. Because they lie constantly about every single thing. There was a woman in Washington who was filming ICE. And Pinot Grigio Pereiro tried to put a felony charge on her. But the jury wouldn't indict her. Right? So she charged her with a misdemeanor assault charge or some shit like that. And went to a jury trial. Jury acquitted her. And the judge said, like, this is a bullshit case. That's exactly what's going to happen to James Comey, to Letitia James, I'm not sure about John Bolton now, because the more I've looked into this John Bolton situation, the more he did write a book. He did put some things in the book, but they went through a judge, and the judge okayed the book to be published. So I don't really know if it's hard to say. He's writing the line. But the ironic thing is, what they're charging him with is exactly what Trump did when he took all the classified documents down to Mar-a-Lago and put them in the shitter. As a matter of fact, Trump had way more documents than they claim John Bolton had. A lot of the documents that John Bolton had were declassified by George W. Bush years and years and years and years ago. Trump's just mad because John Bolton wrote a book in which he said that Trump is a fucking moron and has no business conducting foreign policy because he just runs circles around. Just like, for example, they were saying, oh, they're going to give Ukraine Hellfire missiles, right? And then Trump's like, well, I'm about to talk to Vladimir Putin. I have a phone call. As soon as he has a phone call with Vladimir Putin, what's Trump do? Well, we're going to give him the missiles. We need them, you know. It's like, no. That's not really the reason why, right? The reason why is because your boss, Vladimir Putin, vetoed the fucking deal. Looks like you're not going to do that. And he said, yes, boss. But yet they still continue to try to tell you that there's no Russian collusion, and that Trump's not connected with Russians in any way. Only every time they speak, Trump goes back on whatever he said he was going to do, and Trump still has yet to punish Russia in any way for what they've done in Ukraine. Right? No sanctions. Remember, 2 weeks. If he doesn't do something in 2 weeks, I was like 6 months ago now. You don't do something in 2 weeks. We put serious tariffs and sanctions on him. And he hasn't done that. He hasn't done anything. He brought him over and rolled out a red carpet. Because that's his boss. That's I don't know why people don't get that. This right-wing Christo-fascist movement has become a worldwide thing. It's now a problem in every country. It's a problem in England. It's a problem in, France, and it's a problem in Germany. It's a problem. It's a fucking problem. It's a Nazi problem, I say. The problem is politics in general have gone extreme. There's really, they've eliminated the corporatism and all that stuff has eliminated all the competition in the political system, right? There's not more than one party. I mean, in some countries there's more than one party, but those parties are still like there's never going to be a president of that party. They might have one or two seats in a parliament or something, but they don't have any real power. The real power lies in the left and the right parties. Right? There really is no more center of the road parties. If there are, like I said, they're impotent. Especially in America. It's only a two-party system, so corporations buy both parties, and here we are. The only difference between the Democrats and Republicans is that the Democrats aren't racist fucking Nazis that want to eliminate all of the brown people out of the country. Other than that, their policies toward corporatism and giving big giant grants to billionaires who don't really need them is all the same, because these corporations own these parties. And now there's down to what? I don't know how many the number is, but it's between 10 and 20 rich fucking guys that control everything. And that's the problem with the media thing, because we were talking about that on this show before. Is the more the media is consolidated, the more it can be manipulated or it can be threatened by Trump, because he can just go to one guy and say, I'm going to fuck you up if you don't do what I want you to do. And he owns, Sinclair Broadcasting, which is, I don't know how many, the percentage, but it's like, 40%. It's a huge number of, that's why I was able to force Kimmel off the air. Because Disney owns all this stuff. And he goes, I'm going to take your licenses away, your TV stations, and all these other things that we can do to fucking make your life miserable if you don't do what I say. And this one guy, Iger, go, oh, well, all right then. I mean, backtrack. But that's why I don't understand people keep capitulating. It's like, dude, what he's doing most of the time is illegal. And if you fight it and you go to court, you're probably going to win. Most of the people who have fought the Trump administration in courts have won their cases. So, because the truth is, it's patently ridiculous what he's trying to do. It's unconstitutional. It's all kinds of things. And the only reason he's getting away with it is because they stack the Congress with nutlickers who just lay down and abdicate their power. The Congress hasn't done one bit of oversight on Trump, really. I mean, they have fucking, when they do bring them in, all they do is sit there and lie. It's like, what's the point of talking to them? They're not going to tell the truth. So this bounty story, right? This girl I know who is a right-wing mega Hispanic. I don't understand those people at all. But anyway, she was trying to be like, oh, the cartels are putting a bounty on Cash Patel and all these other people. And like, all right, is that true? And then the very article that she gave me, the people in the town in Mexico were like, this isn't true. It's a made-up story. Somebody, it's, we never found any banners that said that there was, bounties on them or whatever. But that doesn't stop DHS from putting out a thing. It says, DHS statement says that cartels have put a $50,000 bounty on Christy Dome and fucking Cash Patel and all these other people, right? And then news stories started appearing that said, DHS says that, blah, blah, blah. And then she comes back to me like, oh, look at this. I was right. They're like, all that confirms this story is a statement from DHS. And can you trust DHS to tell you the truth? No. I'm sorry, but you can't. Because they've already lied several times. They lied about how they shot that woman. They lied about, lots of times they run people's car off the road. And it's all on video. And then they say, oh, this person tried to assault the ICE officers. And then there's video everywhere. And there you go. Oh, no, the ICE officers were assaulting them. Yes, and they lie. And so you can't trust DHS to tell you the truth. Its whole administration is a gaslight. You can't trust them to tell the truth about anything. Know what, sir? You trust them? You think they're going to tell you the truth? Judges have said that the government, and this is no shit, this is true. Usually, judges have to operate from the standing, right, that the government is telling the truth, right? Several judges have already said that there's no way to trust these people because they're full of shit. I get it. You don't like me, but you're still here. So thank you for watching. Anyway, so when the judges are saying you can't fucking trust them, are you going to trust them? I told her, I go, well, you come back to me when there's a story with independent confirmation of this, and I'll believe you. All you're going to do is tell me ICE or DHS says this, or the FBI. You can't trust the FBI now. It just turned out that, I don't know if you know this, but it just came out that Cash Patel had gone through and decimated the leadership of the Utah FBI before Charlie Kirk's assassination. So, maybe they could have stopped it. Maybe they could have prevented it. If it wasn't for firing all the competent people who aren't pathetic nutlickers and replacing them with incompetent people who are groveling nutlickers, because that's the only qualification you need to be in the Trump administration. Are you a groveling nutlicker who won't ask any questions, would do anything Donald Trump tells you to do? Yes. You're hired. As a matter of fact, maybe make him second chief advisor to the President of the United States. It's like that woman, the press secretary. She didn't tell the truth one fucking time this whole fucking year. All she does is go on TV and lie her ass off. Constantly. I don't know why the reporters and shit even sit there and listen to them at this point. Like I said before, they should all get whistles or something when they all start talking shit. They should just start blowing the whistle. Say, nope, we ain't fucking listening to this shit anymore. And what was Trump saying yesterday? Oh, the president of Hawaii wants me to build an underground train Hawaii to LA. Underneath the ocean. with Elon Musk's boring company. Oh, yeah, that's going to fucking work. That's like, for one. And for two, the president of Hawaii is like, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. I never said anything like that. Because it's not true. Because Trump just talks out of his ass. Constantly. You know? Nobody cares that they're murdering people on the coast of Venezuela. And like I said, when survivors where they were, you go, oh, we finally got some of these drug traffickers. He's going to put them in prison. Nope. Just going to send them back to wherever they came from. Real quiet, like no trials or no nothing like that. It's like, well, why is that? Because they're lying. They're just murdering people off the coast of Venezuela. There's over 1,000 people missing who were in Alligator Alcatraz. Now they're missing. Their families can't find them. No one knows where they are. No one cares. That's a lot of people to just disappear. No one cares. Why? People just watch Dance with the Stars. Like, everything's all right. Well, they're immigrants. You know, they don't really count, right? You're like, no, they do count. They're human beings. How do 1,000 human beings just disappear? I think it's like 1,100. It's over 1,000. No one cares. People are like, I read a story that said people in Congress are getting nervous about this. Republicans too, some get nervous about these things going on off the coast of Venezuela. You know, because like I said, he's murdering people. It's extrajudicial murder. You can't just blow up some vote because you think they might be drug traffickers. You know, like everyone's entitled to, according to American law, everyone's entitled to a due process in a fucking day in court, not an instant death sentence by fucking some guy who's drunk who may or may not have raped a woman last night. It's unbelievable that this is what we've become. We are an embarrassment to humanity and the world. And no one seems to care. That's the part that... I mean, there was a lot of people out today, and people do seem to care, but I'm saying, in general, if you watch the news and the media, you know, the CNNs and the Fox Newses and the MSNBCs, they just seem to be rolling, talking, like, you know, 1,100 people are missing. That's a lot of people to just disappear. That should be a big fucking story. They should be talking about that every fucking day. They should be demanding that the Trump administration explain where these fucking 1,100 people went. Where are they? If they deported them, why can't their families find them? Why have they not called anyone on the phone? They've already proven that they're willing to murder people by what they're doing off the coast of Venezuela. So, I mean, what do you think? I'd like to hear your opinion because I want to know. Yes, Ken, all the technology wasted on one boat. Well, 7 now. They've blown up 7 boats. The other boats didn't have any survivors, but here's what I want to tell you. This is the real question. Is, don't you think if these really were gangsters, narco-traffickers, members of Tren de Aragua, whatever the fuck they say they are, right, that they would want to parade these people into a courtroom and show the American public, that, look, we're being tough on these motherfuckers, you know. We wouldn't just send them back home. Oh, hush, hush, quiet, quiet. You know what they told them? They said, if you keep your mouth shut, we'll just send you home. We'll let you go home, but you gotta be quiet. You can't say that. You can't tell them that you were just fishing or whatever the fuck you were doing. Because that's why they can't go to court. As I said, their whole house of cards will fall. people realize that they're just murdering people off the coast of Venezuela. It has nothing really to do with narco trafficking, does it? It has to do with Trump's got some kind of grudge on for Venezuela. I want to find out what it is. I guarantee you. It's some failed business deal or some shit. Years and years ago. Like 1989, Trump wanted to build a Trump Tower in Rio de Janeiro. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Brazil. Wait, what's a big city in Venezuela? Either way, you know. No, he was denied the permits, you know. And he was like, those sons of bitches. As soon as he became president, he's like, Venezuela! He's got a grudge on list. It's like the Comeys and the John Boltons. Anyone that's ever criticized him or caused him any trouble, he's going to come after him. Because he's a petty fucking prick. That's it. Why do you think he's obsessed with Venezuela? Well, besides the fact that they have large and large amounts of oil. That's the other part. You know, Trump used to say all the time about Iraq, like, we should just took the oil. Right? I'm sure he's got an eye on Venezuela's oil supply. He's like, well, if we could topple the government and put in a nut liquor, we could take that oil. And they don't have to bail them out, too. That's like the fact that we live in a country where they tell you that they don't have money for health care and all these other things, SNAP benefits, and they can't help starving children around the world because we don't have enough money to get a doge the government and fire everybody because we can't afford all this shit. Like, it's not about that. It's about deregulation and giving the corporations and billionaires more and more and more power unchecked. That's what Doge was all about. Not saving the government money. They haven't even saved any money. Some studies said, as a matter of fact, it might have cost more money than they claim to have saved. Right? And then, after all of that, they're going to give Argentina $40 billion fucking dollars. And people aren't burning shit down in the streets. This country is filled with people who are pacified by propaganda and or have just been so, the education system in this country has been so decimated, everybody's just so fucking stupid. They don't understand what's happening to them. As a matter of fact, they swing their fucking, you know, I was talking to a bunch of people today, and that's the thing. Everybody's terrified. They're terrified of Mom Donnie now because he's about to win the election for the mayor of New York City, and they're terrified of him. So what are they doing? They're bringing out all the old cliches. He's a Muslim, so he's got to be a terrorist. He's a communist, you know. And it's like, communist is what people say when they don't understand something, and when their rich masters are threatened because they need the boots to lick to give them a sense of purpose in their empty fucking lives. That's the only thing I can think of. It's the only thing that makes sense psychologically. You know, that boot gives them something. It's like, well, if I lick this boot, maybe he'll throw me down some crumbs and I can. Oh no, I don't expect a handout. Here's the ironic part. None of it's a handout. Right? You pay taxes, don't you? Right? You pay taxes to a system that convinces you that if you ask for anything back for the taxes that you gave, besides war and things like that, if you ask for social things, then you're a freeloader or a communist. And people have bought into that over many, many years. They say, oh, Mom Donnie wants to make life more affordable for people that live in New York. He's a communist. It's like, these are your tax dollars. Why do you think it is that you should feel guilty for wanting something back for the taxes that you pay? Right now, that money just disappears into the ether. And it goes to Argentina, it goes to Israel, it goes to other places. They get all kinds of money. You know what they do with that money? They give their people social programs. This is 100% true. Argentina, they have social programs, right? Israel, they got social programs. They got health care. They have all the things that you don't have because it's paid for with your money. But if you ask for those things, you're a communist. It's a you got to give it to them. It's a pretty superior mind fuck plan, that obviously works because people act like if you think Mom Donnie had the best line of that debate when he was talking to Andrew Cuomo, right? And he's like, look, I forget the exact number, but I'm just gonna use numbers, but to make an example. But he says, Mom Donnie says, you know how much it would cost to give everyone free busing and shit in New York City would cost $4 billion. You gave Elon Musk $9 billion of some kind of tax subsidy. So who's the fucking... How can you even argue about that? It costs half the price of giving Elon Musk $9 billion for everybody to have free public transportation or things that will help them in their everyday lives to have a better life. Mom Donnie said, oh, I think we should look into building a grocery store in some of these food deserts, they call them, where people live in these neighborhoods doesn't have grocery stores and they can't get the food. And he was like, well, maybe we should build a couple grocery stores so these people have access to buy food. Communists! This communist is a boogeyman. It's just like now, they're still on the Soros thing. They think that Soros pays us all money. Like I went to the thing today. So I'm going to get a check from George Soros because I went to the protest today. I mean, this really? That's how these are the bullshit lies that they peddle to you. Soros is a boogeyman. He's always been a boogeyman. But Soros right now is about 192. He's old as fuck. He's not doing anything. They're still like, George Soros is... when he's dead, they'll be like, George Soros' corpse is like, still causing a disruption. It's like that. It's like, what? And people fall for it. People buy into it. Especially now, if you look, like it's the brainwash machine is up to it's running full speed, and a lot of it's not even real people. For instance, go to the White House Facebook page. Right? Just go. Just do me a favor. Just go there, right? Pick any post that they have, and then scroll through the comments. You could tell right away that half of these comments are bots. And they're like, "We love you, President Trump. You're my president. And some of them don't even have like fake fucking profiles. It's like total like a Russian name or something. And they're like, "He's the best." You're like, half of this isn't real. They have all these bots on the White House page to make you think that Trump has massive amounts of support. But he doesn't. It's all a myth. He's still got his cult. He's always going to have his cult. But the rest of us, and people are starting to wake up. A lot of people are starting to wake up and like, hey, he's crashing the economy. It's like, yes, he is. That's when people will start, like ain't a price came down. Not one. You name me a price that's came down since Trump's been in office. Now, gas goes up and down. It always goes up and down. But I'm talking about regular shit like food, groceries. Your power bill. Your electric bills are out of the roof. You're paying. I don't know how this happens, but This again, this is how this country is fucked up. You're paying higher electric bills so that giant mega corporations can build AI data centers and suck up all the power. And you're paying for it because they're getting subsidies to build these things. Yes. People in this country, you're getting fucked, bro. that's Yeah, well, at least it ain't liberals, fucking. Ain't right. Yeah, we don't own the libs. So what? My electric bill is $400 a month. It's, Ken says Soros is a pile of dust. No, I imagine Soros looks like Gary Oldman in Hannibal. That's like he's just all shriveled up and like in a bed, like almost like a mummy. It's like, and somehow he's still orchestrating all this worldwide protest. It's absurd. The things that they believe are absurd. I mean, that's the only way you could say it. It's, right? Like I said before, I've said many times in the shows, right-wing ideology is always propped up by copious amounts of bullshit and lies. All J.D. Vance does is lie, constantly, about everything. Like, for instance, these Nazi chats that came out. The young Republicans who are like early 30s. It's like, they're young. He was like, these kids shouldn't be, they're 35. They're not kids, bro. They never stop lying, ever. There was a thing that I saw the other day, too, I wanted to tell you about. I can't remember what state it was, but some state had made a law that said that priests and people in the clergy had to report any instances of when someone says that they were sexually assaulted or some shit, right? That they have to report this information. Trump administration quietly went into that state and told them that no, that they don't like this law and they need to get rid of it. Now, why does it seem like they're always protecting pedophiles? The more I think about it, the more I'm like, why is that? It seems odd that every time you turn around, this guy is protecting pedophiles and criminals. He just pardoned George Santos. George Santos was convicted of fraud, multiple counts, sentenced to 7 years in prison, right? He commuted the sentence. George Santos was supposed to pay $275,000 restitution to the people that he defrauded. But that's wiped out too in the commutation. Why? Because Trump needs nutlickers. Now, it's like a mobster. Now, he's indebted to Trump. He owes Trump a favor. He'll be doing something. I guarantee you. Watch. He'll be doing something for the Trump administration. Because now he'll just be taken into the fold of pathetic nutlickers that make up this administration. I've never seen anything like it. Like, Bill Kristol wrote a piece the other day. It was exactly what I've been saying for months and months and months and months. It was almost like, oh, did Bill stumble onto the show? Because I had this premise a long time ago. That the one thing that the founding fathers didn't anticipate was the Congress willingly laying down and abdicating their own power. Because the Congress is supposed to be there to keep the executive in check. That's the purpose of it. That's why Congress has the legislation. You know, they have to write legislation, and then the president has to sign that legislation. because the Congress is intended, and why the Congress has oversight power over the executive branch, because the Congress was intended by the founding fathers to be a check on someone like Donald Trump, who wanted to be a king or a dictator, and wanted to circumvent the constitutional republic system, right? But they didn't think. Well, what if you just stack the Congress with pathetic nutlickers who won't stand up to this guy? And that's the thing about Trumpism. And that's why you have to clearly see that these people, no matter what they say, they're authoritarians. They want a strong leader. That's what they want. Because it's no longer, see, that's the other part of it. For the Republicans, it's no longer, politics aren't about fixing your roads, fixing your schools, taxes, etc., etc. Everything now in Republican politics is culture. It's a culture war. They want to eliminate the trans people. They want to eliminate, the people they don't like. They want to get rid of immigrants. They want to. It has nothing to do with anything that affects your life. And I got news for you, son. I'm going to just say it right now. I got news for you. If a guy who crawled over the border or came on a boat or whatever, who can't even speak English, right? Who's a roofing somewhere or cooking in a kitchen or landscaping somewhere, is a threat to you, then you're just a fucking loser, bro. And I suggest you get your own life in order, whether you're not threatened by someone who can't even speak English. Who's doing a job that you would never do because you're a lazy piece of shit. You're a fucking loser. That's it. Sorry. But that's the truth of the matter. Oh, threatened by this guy. They always do, Ken. But that's what's so fucking frustrating about it, is we've been through these cycles before. And I said before when I was talking about this, these fascist regimes, they never last. Name one that lasts, except North Korea. North Korea is an anomaly. North Korea is the only dictatorship ever that was able to be passed down. Most of the time, the dictator dies and the movement falls apart. Or there's a power struggle like in Russia and Stalin came into power. Stalin wasn't anointed. Stalin took the position by eliminating his rivals and getting everybody else to capitulate to him. Just like Putin. Putin did the same thing. But there's no real heir for Putin. What happens if Putin dies? Who's going to be the president of Russia? What's going to happen? Who knows? I don't believe that there's a secession plan, because these guys don't intend to give up their power ever. Now he might, if he lives to be 80, he might start thinking about what happens after he dies, because he's looking mortality in the face. But as long as he's relatively young and healthy, he doesn't give two fucks what happens after he dies, because he's too concerned with holding on to his position. And Trump wants to be like these guys, but he's just not that smart. Most of these other guys are really smart. Trump lives in a stupid country that is heavily influenced by television, and he was able to get on television, and now here we are. That's right. Because Americans celebrity worship, It's like Snoop Dogg. I saw the commercial on the TV that Snoop Dogg was on The Voice. What? He don't sing? How's Snoop Dogg gonna coach him how to sing? He can't fucking sing. He's a rapper. That's like... all these other people that are on The Voice are real singers. Like, you might not like them or not, but like Bublé and Adam Lambert or whatever, or not Adam Levine and Reba McEntire. These people sing. They know how to sing. They have a technical aspect of singing and all this stuff, so they can coach you. And the fucking Snoop Dogg, he can't sing. It's like, oh yeah, what Snoop Dogg do about coach? What's he gonna teach you? Nothing, I guess. Because, but why is he on there? Because he's famous. That's it. You mean famous and stick you anywhere. They're, oh, this guy's famous. It's like the Theo Von thing. You know, what Theo Von do? He was on Road Rules or some shit, right? He's on a reality TV show. That means that all of a sudden now you should listen to what he has to say about politics and world affairs. And you see, he doesn't know what he's fucking talking about. And he got jerked around by Trump. That's like, because all they're interested in was clicks and views. They're not smart enough to think about what they're really doing. And if you really care about these things, you wouldn't be helping this guy. And Al Rogan and them, they want to fucking pretend like, oh, this is fucked up. It's like, well, yeah, well, you did this. You did this. It's good that you're saying that, you know, that it's wrong and you're trying to stand up. But it's like, you helped him get into power, bro. So now you're crying about you don't like what's going on. Well, you did it. No one's playing but yourself. You got played, bro. Theo Von got played. Rogan, I think, you know, Theo Von was just like starstruck to be, because he was over there opening up for Trump when Trump went to the Middle East. Theo Von's like opening up for him. And he just wanted to get paid and go over there and do comedy for whatever if that's what you call it, comedy for the troops. And to come find out, and then he starts doing all this stuff that Theo Von doesn't like. And he's like, hey, wait a minute, I didn't vote for this thing. No, you did vote for it. He said he's going to do this. There are signs, mass deportations now, and all these rallies. All he did was shit on immigrants the whole time. Like, dude, what did you think was going to happen? A lot of these people that say, oh, I didn't think he's really going to do it. Really? When there's nobody in the government to stop him? You don't think he's going to just spew out all of his worst impulses because there's nobody telling him to stop? So what time is illegal? When the nutlickers on the Supreme Court, they're ready to fucking just give him whatever he wants. And he knows that. Why? Because he stacked it himself. We allowed this to happen by sheer ignorance and apathy. Period. And sometimes, I know it's sad to say, but sometimes I feel like, nah, we're getting what we deserve, really. This country's this stupid, it don't deserve to survive. Kim Kardashian made panties with fake pubic hair on them, and they sold out overnight. We don't deserve to survive, bro. It's like the Kardashians are like one of the 4 horsemen of the coming apocalypse. That just shows you that this world is ripe for, you know, destruction. It's like probably deserves it. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go down. Well, I'm gonna decide. I'm fucking tired because I worked this morning. I went, parked my car, walked across the bridge to the King Protest. It was hotter than I expected it to be. And then I had to walk back across the bridge, so I walked a few miles, you know, and then in the heat. And then I got home, I was like, man, I'm kind of tired, but I always feel guilty if I don't do something, because I really only have one night to go out and do something. If I don't do it, I feel like I wasted it, but I don't know. I have some wine here. Maybe I'll just drink wine on the porch. So I have to get drunk and pass out. I don't know. There's a good band playing tonight down in Mansion House, so maybe I'll go down there. But again, I just want to say my viewership is starting to go way up. Like, I don't understand what's happening, but I appreciate it. And there was a lot of people here that were new. And if you just recently got turned on to this show, thank you for being here. I appreciate it, and I love you very much. And please tell your friends, hit the like button, make a comment. All of that helps, you know. Like the fact that people have been commenting and liking, I think has been part of the driver of this. Like I said, obviously I haven't even been promoting the show that much, and the viewership is going up. So I think like I said before, I think I cracked the algorithm, and the YouTube is finally recommending the show. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here, and I said, I don't know, maybe I'll go out, or maybe I'll just sit on the porch and drink wine. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But I am going to enjoy life, and you should do that too. Don't get caught up in all of this darkness. I said, there still is good people out there. And as usual, I'll be back on Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I am Bruce Leonard. This is Bruce Leonard Leans Left, while it's still legal. And please go out and enjoy your weekend. I love you guys. See you on Tuesday. Good night.